Is it just the fault of the rand?
Primarily the rand. Yeah,
we had quite a big export contract, and we can manage our costs, and we have managed our costs very well. But the rand was a difference.
So what do? Do you put together policies that enable you to lock in some of the best levels that come through? Like right now, we're trading exactly at 750.
Right. I think today we're going to change some dollars. Yeah. No, I think it's a sensible look. I mean, you can bet against currencies. We're a mining company, and what we do is we focus on operating costs as a core. And if the exchange rate, if the opportunity is there to put a proper hedge in place, we'll do it. And we have got a hedging policy in place going forward. And with the volatility of the rand, it's probably a good idea to lock in some of those earnings, so we can see it clearly in the way through.
Absolutely. So some of the economists who have been talking about throughout the morning have been talking about the weaker rand going forward because of all the troubles in Europe and the potential for the world economy to slip into a recession. But I suppose from an operating perspective, let's look into the operations of the company itself. Where did the good growth come from?
Good growth came, well, obviously our turnover was up, cash generation was up, 360 million rand of cash, 12% up from last year, primarily coming out the anthracite business. We saw some good growth there in the initial part of the year, focusing on the ferrochrome industries where our major customer base is. Saw some good sales. Sales in the export market also continue to grow. And we're pretty much flat out in terms of production, and we're basically selling everything that we can produce at the moment from the anthracite business. And as you know, from the silica side, we had a good year, and today we also announced that we've actually sold the silica business as well.
Indeed. Let's talk about the production that you're anticipating for this first half. You're saying you're going to maintain production current levels. If you're able to sell everything that you're producing, wouldn't it be a good idea to boost production?
Yeah, well, what we've done is we're going to invest another 140 million rand, which we announced as well, in a second plant at the Somkhele anthracite colliery, which will effectively double production, and that'll be commissioned in the first quarter of next year. And already we can see good demand for the product coming out of that. So we are going to literally double our total sales capacity.
Right. Now, you announced, as you said earlier, that you have sold SAM cars for 259 million rand. Why are you selling?
But I think Petmin's philosophy has been as such over the years. We've found good assets, we've turned them around, we've optimized them, and we get to a point where we believe that our team has added the maximum amount of value to a particular asset, and we have a history of doing this. And selling it at the right point in the cycle it's been a great asset for us. It was a platform on which we grew our business, but it's time to sell it, and we're going to apply those funds to our growth strategy, which is the offshore growth strategy that we've been articulating.
Absolutely. So we want to talk about that offshore growth strategy. What is it?
Well, we're focusing on commodities that are generally used in the steel value chain, infrastructure growth, development commodities. You're talking manganese, you're talking iron ore, we're talking metallurgical coals, we're talking copper. And what we've done is, again, looking at a geographic spread as well to de-risk the entire portfolio that we have. So we've invested in a copper project in Turkey, we've invested in an iron ore project in Liberia, and we've invested in an iron sands project in Canada.
Let's talk about overall amounts here. How much are we looking at in terms of this growth strategy? How much is in the bank that you're looking to spend? And also, of course, I suppose
we have committed for this year, we've committed about 84 million rand just to the current project pipeline. And that's the way we structure our deals. I mean, basically, we do it on an earn-in basis. And that's what we've committed there. And obviously, we've committed some of our capital to the Somkhele development as well.
Right. Let's talk about some of the other resources that you're looking at. You say here that you're looking at metallurgical coal, you're looking at iron ore, you're looking at copper, you're looking at related steel-making commodity such as manganese. Where is this in Africa? Is this in all parts of the globe? Where are you looking?
All parts of the globe. Look, we've got a footprint. We've laid our foot down in Turkey, which is an interesting place for us. I
actually wanted to talk a little bit about that operation. What exactly are you doing there?
Yeah, we've taken a position in a copper project via RCR Resources, which is a Canadian listed company. So we took 10% of the listed entity, and we've taken up to 37.5% interest in the project itself. It's very prospective. We were there a couple of weeks ago. It looks really good, and our drill rigs have started drilling on Thursday last week. So we're quite excited about that.
How much are you committing there?
$17.5 million total to the project, and a $4 million investment in the corporate entity.
Okay, and let's talk about Liberia, the iron ore project. How big is that?
It's quite a sizable deposit. We've done some aeromag, and we're talking something which is 20 kilometers long, about 250 meters wide, and about 1,000 meters deep, and it all looks mineralized. And we're in the process of doing a trenching program at the moment to get some samples to determine exactly what we've got, and then post that we'll enter into a comprehensive drill program. You know, that's the plan.
And cost?
Cost was only $2 million to get into that. The $2 million has been spent on the ground to date. And once we get the results back from the trenching program, then we'll see what capital we have to commit going forward.
Yeah. So if we're talking about Petmin going forward, what sort of growth rates are we looking at here?
Well, obviously it takes time to develop a mining project, as you know.
Sure.
But as the results come through, so we're going to accelerate our programs. We have the cash available, so we are excited about what we have in the portfolio. It doesn't mean we're not going to look at anything new, but having said that, we're going to commit ourselves to these projects and then accelerate their development.
And any figure that you can give us in terms of, let's just talk top line, sales.
No, well, look, the sales, obviously at the end of the day, we've got to look at our anthracite business. That's our core asset at the moment,
okay.
Cash generator. And that's what's going to deliver the value on the bottom line next year and the year after that when we get to full capacity at the second plant. And, as to say, going from 530,000 tonnes a year to over 1 million tonnes a year, literally by June next year, hopefully.
Right. And the prices for the different types of resources that you're looking at, you've got anthracite, and then you're talking about all these other resources, your coal, your iron ore, etc. What's your outlook for them? What are you expecting, such that you're confident that you'll be able to get your returns by investing in them? We're very bull commodity, otherwise we wouldn't be in the game. Sure. And we think, we've taken a view that there's massive growth in China still to come. There's 250 million odd people that are going to be urbanized in India and China over the next 10 years. There are going to be 10 more cities with more than 13 million people that are going to develop in that period of time. So we see the infrastructure growth business as the place you want to play, and that is the steel value chain. All those commodities that we've listed there, they're going into that process. So that's our vision for the future. And in terms of prices?
Prices, look, long-term prices, I'm fairly conservative, and we are conservative in Petmin. So we tend to take a conservative view on pricing. So in our modelling, we don't factor current prices for argument's sake.
Sure.
We take a long-term price on our commodity. Anthracite, we take a long-term price on copper, which is probably a lot lower than some of the analysts would take, but just the way that we manage our business. But if someone can predict the prices, they're wasting more than
And in terms of pricing as a producer for iron ore particularly, for instance, because we know there's been a debate around contracts and set price and spot prices and all those kind of things. What would you prefer?
Look, we like a balance of both. On our anthracite business, what we've done is we've fixed some prices going forward, say 2 years at a time, and then on the other side we play the spot market when the prices are up and down. So we have a balance between the two.